Every morning, you wake up with two choices. You can either control your mind, or allow your mind to control you. Most people lose this battle before the day even begins. They wake up distracted, lazy, anxious, emotionally reactive, and mentally weak because they never trained themselves to think differently. Instead of building discipline, they build excuses. Instead of mastering their thoughts, they become slaves to impulses and emotions. But Stoicism teaches something completely different. The Stoics believed that mornings were sacred because the way you begin your day shapes the direction of your life. A disciplined morning creates a disciplined mind. A disciplined mind creates a disciplined future. Marcus Aurelius trained himself every morning before facing the chaos of the Roman Empire. He understood that life would contain stress, difficult people, uncertainty, pain, and pressure. Yet he refused to allow external events to control his inner peace. That is the true power of Stoicism. Before we begin, subscribe to this YouTube channel for more powerful Stoic wisdom that will help you develop discipline, emotional control, mental toughness, and inner peace. Now listen carefully, because these Stoic rules can completely transform your mindset if practiced daily. 1. Wake up before your excuses wake up. One of the greatest enemies of discipline is comfort. Every morning, your mind will try to negotiate with you. It will search for excuses to remain comfortable. It will tell you to sleep longer, delay your goals, and avoid discomfort. Most people listen to these excuses immediately, and slowly, their lives become controlled by weakness. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this struggle himself. He reminded himself that he was waking up to fulfill his purpose as a human being, not simply to chase comfort. This mindset is powerful because it shifts your focus away from temporary feelings and toward responsibility. The moment you wake up early despite not feeling like it, you begin strengthening your mind. You prove that your discipline is stronger than your emotions. This is how mental toughness is built. Most people wait until they feel motivated before taking action. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Action must come first. Feelings are unreliable because emotions constantly change. Discipline means doing what must be done even when motivation disappears. Every morning you win the battle against laziness, you build confidence within yourself. You begin trusting your ability to act regardless of how you feel. That trust changes everything. The strongest people are not those who always feel inspired. The strongest people are those who continue acting correctly despite discomfort. Wake up with purpose. Get out of bed immediately. Stop negotiating with weakness. Because the way you start your morning often determines the quality of your entire day. 2. Control your thoughts before the world controls them. Most people begin their mornings by immediately consuming noise. They open social media, read negativity, compare themselves to others, and overload their minds before even gaining clarity. By doing this, they allow the outside world to control their mental state. Stoicism teaches that your thoughts shape your reality. If you do not discipline your mind intentionally, distractions and negativity will dominate you automatically. Marcus Aurelius constantly reflected on his own thoughts because he understood that the mind can either become a source of strength or a source of suffering. Modern people often believe every negative thought instantly. If they feel fear, they assume danger is everywhere. If they feel insecure, they assume they are weak. But Stoicism teaches observation rather than emotional surrender. The morning is the perfect time to train your thinking. Before the world demands your attention, spend time controlling your own mind first. Sit quietly. Reflect deeply. Focus intentionally. Ask yourself important questions. What kind of person do you want to become today? What habits must you improve? What distractions must you avoid? How will you remain calm under pressure? A disciplined mind does not happen accidentally. It is built through repeated mental training daily. Most people allow their minds to wander endlessly without direction. Stoics understood that an uncontrolled mind creates unnecessary suffering. This is why mental discipline matters so much. Protect your thoughts carefully every morning because your thoughts influence your emotions, your decisions, your habits, and ultimately your future. 3. Stop complaining about reality. One of the clearest signs of mental weakness is constant complaining. Most people waste enormous amounts of energy complaining about situations they cannot control. They complain about weather, traffic, difficult people, stress, delays, or problems instead of adapting calmly. Stoicism teaches radical acceptance of reality. This does not mean becoming passive or weak. It means understanding that emotional resistance to reality creates unnecessary suffering. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, disease outbreaks, and enormous pressure as emperor. Yet he constantly reminded himself to focus only on what remained within his control, his own actions, thoughts, and responses. This mindset creates peace because it eliminates emotional chaos. Every morning, remind yourself that life will not always go according to your plans. People may disappoint you. Problems may appear unexpectedly. Challenges may interrupt your comfort. But none of these things should destroy your inner stability. Most suffering comes from unrealistic expectations. People expect life to be easy, fair, and predictable. Then they become emotionally overwhelmed when reality behaves differently. Stoicism prepares you mentally before problems arrive. When difficulties appear, disciplined minds remain calmer because they expected hardship already. Complaining weakens your focus. Complaining weakens your energy. Complaining trains your brain to become negative constantly. Instead of complaining, ask yourself better questions. How can this situation make me stronger? What lesson can I learn from this? How can I respond wisely instead of emotionally? Your response to difficulty reveals the true condition of your mind. 4. Train yourself to be comfortable with discomfort. Modern society teaches people to avoid discomfort constantly. People chase convenience, entertainment, pleasure, and easy solutions every day. But Stoicism teaches that comfort addiction creates weak minds. Growth requires resistance. Discipline requires discomfort. Strength requires challenge. Marcus Aurelius understood that difficult experiences were necessary for building character. He did not fear struggle because he knew struggle creates resilience. Most people panic over small inconveniences because they never train themselves mentally for hardship. They avoid difficult conversations. They avoid discipline. They avoid silence. They avoid anything uncomfortable. But the moment you begin willingly facing discomfort, your mind becomes stronger. Wake up early even when it feels difficult. Exercise even when you feel tired. Stay disciplined even when distractions tempt you. Practice silence even when your mind wants constant stimulation. Every act of self-control strengthens your ability to remain calm under pressure. The strongest minds are not built during easy seasons. They are built during difficult moments when excuses become tempting. Stoicism teaches voluntary discomfort because discomfort trains resilience. When you willingly challenge yourself daily, unexpected hardships become easier to handle later. Most people choose comfort repeatedly and slowly become fragile emotionally. Stoics choose discipline repeatedly and become stronger mentally. If you want a powerful mind, stop running from discomfort. Learn to face it willingly. 5. Guard your time like your life depends on it. Time is one of the most valuable things you possess, yet most people waste it carelessly every single day. They waste hours scrolling endlessly, gossiping, procrastinating, and distracting themselves from meaningful growth. Stoicism constantly reminds us that life is temporary. Marcus Aurelius reflected on mortality often because remembering death creates urgency. When you realize your time is limited, your priorities become clearer. Suddenly, meaningless distractions lose importance. Most people assume they have unlimited time to improve themselves. They delay discipline because they believe tomorrow will always exist. But tomorrow is never guaranteed. Every morning should remind you that another portion of your life has disappeared forever. This truth may sound harsh, but it is powerful because it forces you to stop wasting time. A disciplined mind understands the importance of urgency. It does not postpone growth endlessly. It acts immediately. Protect your mornings carefully because mornings shape momentum. If your morning becomes filled with distractions, negativity, and laziness, the rest of your day usually follows the same pattern. Use your mornings intentionally. Read something meaningful. Reflect deeply. Plan wisely. Build healthy routines. Feed your mind wisdom instead of noise. The quality of your future depends heavily on how you spend your time daily. Weak people kill time. Strong people use time intentionally. 6. Do not let emotions control your decisions. Many people ruin their lives because they make decisions based entirely on temporary emotions. Anger destroys relationships. Fear destroys opportunities. Laziness destroys discipline. Anxiety destroys peace. Stoicism teaches emotional mastery. The Stoics did not suppress emotions completely. Instead, they learned how to observe emotions without becoming controlled by them automatically. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to pause before reacting emotionally. He understood that calmness during pressure is a form of power. Every morning, prepare yourself mentally for emotional challenges. Some people may insult you. Some situations may frustrate you. Unexpected stress may appear. But your power comes from choosing your response carefully instead of reacting impulsively. Most people become slaves to emotional impulses because they never practice self-control consistently. The disciplined mind understands that emotions are temporary visitors. They rise and fall constantly. You should not build permanent decisions on temporary feelings. When fear appears, act wisely anyway. When anger appears, remain calm. When laziness appears, continue moving forward. This is how emotional strength develops over time. A person who cannot control emotions cannot truly control life. But a person who masters reactions becomes extremely difficult to break mentally. 7. Build discipline through small daily actions. Most people want dramatic transformation overnight. They want instant confidence, instant success, and instant discipline. But Stoicism teaches that greatness is built slowly through consistent daily habits. Every small action matters. The way you wake up matters. The way you speak matters. The way you think matters. The way you spend your time matters. Small repeated actions shape identity over time. Marcus Aurelius constantly examined his behavior because he understood that character is built through repetition. If you practice laziness daily, laziness becomes part of your identity. If you practice discipline daily, discipline becomes natural over time. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. Many people work hard briefly before quitting completely. Stoicism teaches sustainable discipline instead. Improve gradually but consistently. Read daily. Reflect daily. Exercise daily. Control your impulses daily. Strengthen your habits daily. Small victories build momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds stronger habits. Most people underestimate the power of tiny disciplined actions because results are invisible at first. But repeated consistently, small habits create massive transformation over time. A disciplined mind is not created in one day. It is created through years of repeated self-control. 8. Stop seeking validation from everyone. One major reason people lose discipline is because they become addicted to approval from others. They constantly worry about opinions, criticism, rejection, and validation. Stoicism teaches freedom from external approval. Marcus Aurelius understood that no matter how successful or disciplined you become, some people will still criticize you. This is unavoidable. Most people waste enormous energy trying to please everyone. But this destroys authenticity and weakens confidence. A disciplined mind focuses on character instead of popularity. Every morning, remind yourself that your mission is not to impress everyone. Your mission is to become stronger, wiser, calmer, and more disciplined. Some people will misunderstand your growth. Some people will dislike your focus. Some people will resent your discipline because it exposes their excuses. Let them misunderstand you. The more dependent you become on validation, the weaker your inner peace becomes. True confidence comes from respecting yourself, not from receiving endless approval from strangers. Protect your energy carefully. Stay focused on your own growth. Because people's opinions change constantly, but your character remains with you forever. 9. Prepare your mind for difficulty every morning. Most people are emotionally shocked whenever life becomes difficult. They expect comfort constantly, so even small problems feel overwhelming. Stoicism teaches preparation instead of surprise. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would encounter difficult people, stress, delays, and challenges. This mental preparation allowed him to remain calmer during hardship. Preparation creates resilience. Every morning, understand that challenges will come. Not because life hates you, but because difficulty is part of existence. When you expect hardship, you stop reacting emotionally every time something goes wrong. Instead, you adapt calmly and continue moving forward. This mindset builds mental toughness. The disciplined mind does not collapse under pressure because it trained for pressure already. Hardship is not always punishment. Sometimes hardship is training. Every challenge carries lessons capable of strengthening your character if approached wisely. Do not fear difficult seasons. Face them with courage. Because your struggles often shape the strongest version of yourself. 10. Become stronger than your excuses. The final Stoic rule is perhaps the most important of all: become stronger than your excuses. Every person has excuses. Some people blame lack of time. Others blame fear, stress, circumstances, or past failures. But excuses never improve life. They only delay growth. Marcus Aurelius understood that discipline requires responsibility. You cannot control every situation, but you always control your effort and attitude. Most people stay trapped because they justify weakness constantly instead of confronting it honestly. Excuses feel comfortable temporarily, but they create regret later. Every morning, ask yourself an important question: will you continue feeding excuses, or will you finally take control of your life? Your future depends heavily on your answer. A disciplined mind accepts responsibility instead of searching for blame. It focuses on action instead of endless complaining. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for life to become easier. Start now. Because the longer you delay discipline, the more difficult transformation becomes. Remember this every single morning: your habits shape your identity, your mindset shapes your future, and your daily discipline shapes your destiny. If this video helped strengthen your mindset, subscribe to this YouTube channel for more powerful Stoic wisdom designed to help you become mentally stronger, emotionally disciplined, and impossible to break.